Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. We are back again. We are back on the 1st of June, and we are back with lots of Arsenal content, especially the transfer talk that is catching up and down, Gnabry, and a couple of other stories that we will discuss throughout the summer. But I want us to first talk about Gnabry because I think among all the big names that we are linked with, he's the most exciting. And the question I put in the title is for you to answer, not for me. It's for you to answer. I'll be providing why Arsenal need to sign Gnabry in a couple of videos, starting with this one. But I want you to get down in the comment section and let me know. Do you think this is a deal that could happen? 31 million is what Bayern are looking at. A player in the last year of his contract. I think Bayern would look. We'll talk about this, but Bayern will look at it in a way that they do not want to lose him on a free. And Arsenal, obviously, if you're looking for smart signings, if you're looking for good deals around the market, then this is the deal for you. Honestly, I don't see how Arsenal fail to try to get him done. And I don't see how it's going to be easy. We'll talk about that in this video. But anyway, how are you guys doing? Type in the chat. It's a good afternoon. So type good afternoon in the chat and let me know where you're watching in from. It's going to be a rough summer, so we're going to have a lot of content. I cannot upload everything here, and that's why I would really ask you to join the family on 99 Sport, because much of the content that I cannot upload here will be going on to 99 Sport. So let's get that done. 99 Sport, you'll see my face there. Link is also in the video description. It's my second channel. Visit that page. I will be uploading lots of content. I want to upload around up to 3 videos here, and I'll be uploading up to 2 videos on 99 Sport. That is it. So please join the family. Right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. The like target, 100 likes. I mean, we could start with that. I mean, we're just back. 100 likes, or we could go ruthless, 200 likes. Let's make sure you hit the like button. So Fabrizio Romano has done a very great job when it comes to transfers, and yet again he is the man that we'll be talking about right today, again producing another very beautiful piece around this story. And this is what he said: Bayern Munich have been in negotiations with Gnabry about a contract extension since October, and made a new proposal worth around 10 million euros net per season in the recent days. However, Gnabry has not accepted that offer from Bayern Munich. That is what is a little bit worrying for Bayern. They're saying that Bayern have no plans, or Romano claims that Bayern Munich have no plans of going above that. They do not want to offer Gnabry anything above 10 million euros per season. Now, moving on to the other quotes, the other quote actually, that many Arsenal fans have been very excited about on social media. This is it. He said, to date, there is no offer from Arsenal for Gnabry, but he could be a top name on the market. Real Madrid discussed him internally in February, but they have never made an offer, with their priority being strengthening their midfield, as per journalist, tier 1 best journalist when it comes to transfers, Fabrizio Romano. So I mean, that is what we know at the moment. I'm going to be providing more information around this, beyond Fabrizio Romano and beyond what Romano has actually given us. But if you want me to give you what I know about the situation, that is it. Fabrizio Romano claiming that Bayern have offered him 10 million euros per year. However, the player has not accepted that offer. He's not said yes. He has not said yes to the 10 million euros, and it looks like Bayern are not willing to offer anything more than that. Now, I mean, this is quite complicated, very complicated. And if there is a deal that Arsenal are linked with, or we are linked with, and it is it is very complicated, this is the one, all right? Because look, Bayern is a big club, the biggest club in Germany. Now, regardless of the fact that players like Robert Lewandowski will be leaving as well, and probably the likes of Corentin Tolisso, but Bayern stay as a club that every German player wants to play for. And so when Gnabry went back to Germany, I don't know whether you call him Gnabry or Gnabry, but I prefer to call him Gnabry. I don't know why. I think I've just practiced that pronunciation for a long time. When he decided to go back to Germany from Arsenal, it was quite understandable. Right now, he's 26 years of age, and this is the period where all of us, where we would think, you want to be the star man at Bayern. Robert Lewandowski is leaving. Yes, Sadio Mane could be coming in through the door, but Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Joshua Kimmich, that is the core of that team. And I'm so surprised that Bayern, despite the fact that they have offered him, a few coins here and there, not coins, 10 million per year, that is not coins. But despite the fact that they've offered him money, they don't look desperate. They don't seem so eager to beg him to stay. They don't look desperate to keep him. They're like, get the money and stay, or if you do not want to stay, you can actually move on. Actually, the information that I have seen also shows that Bayern Munich have told Gnabry that if you're not signing, then he will be sold. If he's not signing, then he will be sold this summer, right? So it's, I mean, I don't know if this is a struggle of power between Bayern and Gnabry, because for me, I do not get the motive. Honestly, I do not get the motive. I don't know, but I still believe Bayern wouldn't really want to get rid of a player like Gnabry, especially if you're looking at a summer where you're losing the best striker in European football. You don't want to lose another core of your system. You don't want to. So with Robert Lewandowski leaving, I thought they would be stingy. They would try to pet him around, just give him that kind of fatherly convincing. You should stay, boy. You should be here with us at Bayern. But they're not trying to do so. They'll forget about Arsenal and all these other clubs coming in. They're not trying to do so. They've said, we're giving you 10 to stay. If you do not stay, then you probably will have to move on, and it will be this summer, not next summer on a free. So, and that's why I asked whether you feel it would be a question of who has got the power between Gnabry and Bayern. To some extent, I feel Gnabry could have felt that he's important, and he is important to Bayern, and so he would have decided that probably I'll just test my chances and see if Bayern could actually fall for my demands and give me 20 million euros per season, which I think Bayern are not really ready to do. It goes back to the ridiculous, obscene contract signed by Kylian Mbappe. Because if you look at Mbappe, who is 22, 21 at the moment, signing a contract worth 1 million, right, per week, and 100 million pounds in sign-on fees and bonuses. That shows you that, I mean, it just communicates to players like Gnabry that if my contract runs down, if I run down my contract, and this is going to be a very, very big scare for me to clubs like Arsenal, Bayern and whoever, probably Juventus if Vlahovic runs his contract down, and the likes of, we've already seen it with Paulo Dybala. I'm not saying Paulo Dybala is taking the example of Mbappe, but this is where football is going. So Gnabry knows that right now, if Bayern can offer him 10 million euros per year, if his contract runs down, he can force them into paying up to 50 million or 30 million or 35 million in sign-on fees to sign their own player, right? Because it's in fear of losing him on a free, to resign their own player, and then also probably give him what, 30 million per year because he's a free agent, right? And this is, for me, absolutely ridiculous. But the fact that UEFA and FIFA and all this shit, financial fair play rules have decided to go down that road, it's going to be painful. It's absolutely going to be very, very, very hard and very painful. So with Gnabry, I don't get any other motive why he wants to leave Bayern. Probably to change environment. Could that be the reason? Like he wants a new challenge. I don't get it. I personally, I do not get it. If he says he wants a new challenge, we've got to understand that. I mean, there is no way you would fail to understand Gnabry when he says he wants a new challenge and everything like that. But it's not convincing enough. It's really not convincing enough why Gnabry wants to leave wants to leave Bayern. But then let's get to the Arsenal part of it. So where would he go? Would it be Arsenal? That is why I asked you in the comments, is Arsenal signing Gnabry? Because so when you look at Gnabry, I want to show you his statistics just in a bit. And I'll show you the kind of player he is and the caliber of player he is and the quality he possesses overall. And that will just give us the picture of what I want to say. Here you go. So this is Gnabry in the German Bundesliga over the past 4 seasons. He's been averaging at least 30 games per campaign and averaging at least 10 goals per season. His best campaign came in 2019-2020, scored 12 and assisted 10 times. Overall goal involvement was 22, right? But if you look at this season, the last season, 34 appearances, 14 goals, and 9 assists. That is 90, and 5 assists. That is 19 goal involvements in 34 appearances for Bayern Munich. In the Champions League, he made 8 appearances and scored 3 times for them. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal of a player. Look, if you've got a player who can give you these numbers, for me, you have gold. You absolutely have got gold, right? There's so many clubs that would want to have, such an asset. For example, Liverpool at the moment, as they still think of, who's going to replace Sadio Mane and things like that. You think Liverpool could just give probably a listening ear to the situation around Gnabry. So with Arsenal, now let's go to the realistic part before we get to the optimism, right? Because the realistic part is answering that question. Where does Gnabry end up? Does he end up at Arsenal? Do you see him ending up at Arsenal? In my opinion, no. I don't see him ending up at Arsenal. I would look at it in a way that he leaves Bayern, a club with Champions League, a club that is not only expected to qualify and participate, but is in the caliber of clubs that are expected to challenge and win the UEFA Champions League. So if he wants a new challenge at that age, because he's only 26 years of age, so don't expect him to, end his career by this time, right? I don't expect him to end his career. So I think it's always going to be an upward move, or at least a vertical move, like a horizontal move. I don't think it's going to be a move down. At the moment, from Bayern to Arsenal, that is a move down. Yes, he's coming into the Premier League, he's coming into a harder league, and he's coming into a league with a lot of coverage, media, and everything like that. The best league in the world, but coming from Bayern to Arsenal, that would be downward, and I don't see that happen. Actually, I don't see it happen to an extent that from Bayern to Arsenal at the moment is kinda a steep downward move, kind of steep, right? I don't think it would be this. It would actually be this, and I don't think that is what he wants to do with his career. first and foremost. I'm not saying he cannot sign for Arsenal. I'm just giving you my reasoning around it. So that is one. Now, the other part, where I think he might actually not come to Arsenal, is the amount of interest that's going to be available. According to Romano, Madrid is interested. They have discussed him internally. And the fact that they've already missed out on Kylian Mbappe, who they thought they saw the likes of Odegaard. They tried to create lots of space for Kylian Mbappe to come in. And then he just snubbed them for huge amounts of money. Hala Madrid. We got nothing to do about that Madrid. I mean, just you can heal the wounds. So, I mean, the fact that they didn't get Mbappe at Madrid, that would look like a very, very good move for them. Like, you do not get Kylian Mbappe, but you get Serge Gnabry. Of course, Gnabry is a little bit older than Mbappe. If you sign Mbappe for free at the moment and you're Real Madrid, that would have been the best business in the world. You sign a 22-year-old for free, that is the best business in the world. Actually, not just a 22-year-old, but the best 22-year-old you'd ever sign for for free. On the market. So that would have been very good business. But they've got to move on now. They have an Eden Hazard who's not working. They have a Karim Benzema and a Vinicius Jr., whose partnership is actually very, very good. Aurelien Tchouameni is coming in. Eduardo Camavinga is doing well. And they also have the likes of the likes of Cruz and Modric, who are aging but still providing that kind of experience to the team. And yes, they don't provide the legs, but they provide lots of quality. So I would think they would be thinking Vinicius, Gnabry, and Benzema. That is a great forward line. So I think Madrid will be very, very active for him. The other club that I think will be very active for him, Liverpool. I don't know why my instincts think that, because Mane has told them, I will be leaving. He's actually told the public that he won't be staying at Liverpool. Bayern is one of the clubs that are just have their arms open, hands open. They're like, you're leaving Liverpool, come here, son. All right, that's a good move for Bayern. Mane moves in, and then Robert Lewandowski moves out. So Gnabry then, if Mane joins, Gnabry, of course, that doesn't really affect his his game time and position, because Mane would be moving in that moving to that spot where Robert Lewandowski has been playing. But what it does and what it would create is you would have Bayern would be able to sell Serge Gnabry under the reasoning that if he goes, then Mane can occupy his space, and then it would be not that easy, but Bayern could get Darwin Núñez. Bayern could get any striker in Germany if they liked, right? Whoever they like. So I think Liverpool, as they try to look for a replacement for Sadio Mane, there are many out there, Christopher Nkunku and Jared Bowen, and I discuss all that on 99 Sport, so make sure you do join me there. But I would think the competition for the player will Arsenal cope up? Will Arsenal manage, with all that competition? Probably yes, probably no. I'm not really, really very, very sure. So away from the negativity, then we can talk about the positive part, which would be the optimistic view, and that is Serge Gnabry what Arsenal need? And my answer there, lads, is more than enough. Is it what we need? More than enough, right? They're not. Look, I still remember Fabrizio saying that Arsenal want a huge signing, a big signing in the summer, probably 2 big signings, and then they will start moving on to smart signings. Now, if you think about smart signings, I would think about Jota to Liverpool. That's a smart signing. I think about Roberto Firmino to Liverpool. That's a smart signing. I mean, they're those signings that just come in and they're what you need. They might not attract a lot of a lot of media coverage, a lot of talk. They don't come with that great euphoria, and excitement and everything. But they're what you need. That is the first thing. They're smart. They're what you need. And I think for us, no, at the moment, he is what we need. Gnabry is what we need. On that front line, you have Nketiah, who's signing a new contract, ridiculous. I want to talk about that, and I hopefully we'll talk about that in the evening, and we will see how that goes. But you know, across that forward line, you have Saka and Martinelli, who are very, very young and inexperienced. So you do not expect them to, always carry you, especially through difficult times. You need a player who's done it. You need a player who's been there. You need a player who's, you need players who have, who have been at that stage, who have performed at the stage, and they can be able to carry you through. Gnabry is that man. 4 straight seasons at Bayern, playing, over 30 games per campaign, averaging almost 15 goal involvements per campaign. That is steady and that is consistent. So with Arsenal, what we need this summer, in my opinion, is 2 things. One, I've already said that, and I'll say it throughout the summer. You need squad depth. You need to have the numbers. You need to have the players around. But then you also need to have that extra quality. That quality that just allows you to compete with the bigger figures, right? Because this is a very, very different kind of summer. It's not the same. It's not going to be the same season like we had, where Spurs came in unprepared, where Man United came in unprepared, where Chelsea came in unprepared. Chelsea are under new ownership. They just confirmed the Boyle family, right? Is going to be is taking charge, and there is rumor that Chelsea will be spending over 200 million. There is rumor that Arsenal will spend over 150, and there is rumor that Spurs will also be spending 200 million. And to spend 200 million, they've already brought in Ivan Perisic on a free. That is a done deal. And a player in the quality of Ivan Perisic shows you the direction in which Antonio Conte wants to take, and to take Tottenham Hotspur. He doesn't think of. He's not thinking, I want to keep them fourth. I want to keep them competing for the top 4. He's thinking in the direction Chelsea need time to reset as they prepare their back line, as they try to get their team in line. I can take Spurs to compete with the top 2. And I think that is the motive that Arsenal should have in mind as we enter next season. We must be thinking of competing with the top 3 teams. That is Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester City. And the only way you do that is by first and foremost, you've got to beat your competition in terms of the quality. I think we do have an advantage over Man United. I don't think over Spurs, but with Man United, we do stand a bigger advantage over them. And the reason as to why we stand a bigger advantage over Man United is what we did last summer is what they're going to do this summer. That kind of rebuild, that kind of going back to taking baby steps. That is what they're going to do. And Arsenal have done that last summer, and it was successful. The likes of Odegaard, the likes of Ramsdale, bringing in many players and trying to make sure that they get enough time to, live together, learn together, and also deliver. So, in my opinion, Gnabry would be a very, very good signing because he brings the quality, he brings the experience, and then he's a world-class signing. If you ask me today, how many world-class players are in Arsenal? None. And I'll say that again. We do not have any world-class player in that Arsenal side. I agree to disagree. Let's get in the comment section. Do you think we have any world-class players in Arsenal? For me, we do not have. We do have players that have the potential in Odegaard, in Gabriel Magalhaes, in Kieran Tierney. But I don't think we have any world-class players. So Gnabry would be. And I think the likes of Yuri Tillemans, the likes of Gabriel Jesus, even if they come in, those are not world-class signings for me. They are not world-class signings. They are not. Okay. Derek, Simon, Henry saying, and they're saying, "We'll come back. Where have you been? We've been missing you." I'm back. I'm back. I was. There is a project I'm working on, and it's kind of eating my time. But I also had to find a very, very good machine to do my work. Uh, I mean, thank you for the love, Sandy Pete as well. Edwin, thank you so much for the love. I'm back. Good morning, everyone. Fred says good morning here from Makindye. Good morning to you, Florence, as well. How are you lads doing? Hope you're doing well. And Roboticam says Gnabry has won everything in Germany, so he wants to come to Arsenal for a challenge. Anu says, Cossy, financial fair play is not working. Look, honestly, it's broken. It's broken. You know why it's broken is, I'm looking at what's happening in football. I'm looking at the ridiculous things that happen in football. The Kylian Mbappe contract is a disgrace to UEFA. Look, they shouldn't be allowing anything like that to happen. Not even anything near it to happen. The moment they have decided to walk naked on the streets, it's embarrassing. However nice your body is, the moment you walk naked on the streets, it's a disgrace. There are no two ways about it. It's a fucking disgrace. And UEFA for me, that's a disgrace. You don't allow that. And it, look, it doesn't hurt me, but it amuses me that the same UEFA will be pressing clubs like Barcelona, trying to tell them you're destroying football. You're destroying football. Of course, they were destroying football. They started this, giving players like Antoine Griezmann 800k per week. Right? That is where it started in Spain. It started with Real Madrid, with the Galacticos. That's where it started. So it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. But then, Robert Cam says that Serge Gnabry has won everything and he wants to come to Arsenal for a new challenge. I mean, the point that he's won everything at that age makes a lot of sense. The point that he wants a new challenge makes a lot of sense. But the question is, does he want a new challenge in terms of going up, or does he want a challenge in terms of just, at least staying at the same level, joining a club that has the same level of ambition as Bayern? That is the huge question. And look, we could talk about this all day. We could really talk about this all day. Okay. Cossy, are we really going? Doherty says, Cossy, are we really going to sign better players this summer? That is confirmed. That is confirmed. We will sign better players this summer. Doherty, we will sign better players this summer. Thanks everybody for the love. I appreciate. Arsenal don't have any world class players. Thank you so much, Anu. And that is my opinion as well. Gil says no world class players at the moment. Auba and Ozil were the only players, world class players that we had. Look, you lads just drive me to the point I want to make, right? So with Serge Gnabry, you'd have not only a world class player, but you'd have an inspiration to players like Bukayo Saka. These players, honestly, do not have anyone to look up to. They don't have someone to look at to look to. And when you look at the way we bottled the semi-finals of the Europa League and the way we bottled the top four race, what is the difference? I do not see any. I do not find a difference. Now, I'm not very optimistic that Arsenal will get this deal over the line or will get it done. But those are the kind of players I want to see coming through the door. I love Gabriel Jesus, and I think he should be joining Arsenal, and everything is good. But Gabriel Jesus, Serge Gnabry, and Yuri Tillemans, that would even be better. That would be absolutely be good, right? Very, very good. Because look, Gnabry, of course, if he comes in at Arsenal, you expect him to occupy that left wing, and then of course Saka on the right. Then your striker as Gabriel Jesus. That is some quality in there. Gabriel Jesus not yet world class, but if he continues, actually not continues, but if he can have that, if he can have some elevation in his career, we can have a world class player in him, in there. And then Saka, probably 3 years from now, you'd have a world class player if he continues at the same level, right? Look, and to become world class, you just need those goal involvements to be accumulating, and to do things in a little bit, a better way, different way, lift your team, be dependable. And I think Saka is all that. I think Saka is absolutely all that. And then the other one would be Gnabry, who I think for me is already at that level, world class, right? But one thing I would also love about Serge Gnabry, I don't know if you've noticed this, lads. There are times when Arsenal becomes, when our players run out of ideas, when we run out of ideas, when we do not have a plan B. Now, I would say that Mikel Arteta has always failed to find a plan B, especially in games where the plan A has failed, against Burnley, against Newcastle, against Spurs, against Crystal Palace, Southampton, and many other games. I feel like when it comes to him finding a way out, he fails. He either loses the game, especially when he concedes fast. Because for me, when you concede fast, when you get a red card, when you get an early injury, or when you go into the 70th minute without scoring, then those are moments that call you to kind of switch tactics. I've not seen that with Mikel Arteta. And when you do not have that from your manager, what you have is probably, he's not had the kind of players that allow you to do that as well. Because when you take off Martinelli and bring on Emile Smith-Rowe, yes, different kind of playing style, but you might not actually implement very, very much. But the other thing we would need to have are players that can do things, or players that can make things happen in such desperate times. It has happened with Madrid a lot of the time this season, despite the fact that I've been looking at everyone saying, "Oh, Madrid are not game controllers. They've not really controlled games in the UCL campaign. They were not the best team." The moment is, the question is, how do you get games over the line? Can you get games over the line? Can you get over the line? And Madrid have been doing it very, very well. And for me, whoever is mourning about them, they get things done. Vinicius Jr., Luka Modric, and Karim Benzema. Now we need that element. Players that can make things happen. Players that can change games. Players that have the ability to think outside the usual. Because there are times when it is too predictable. Our playing style, and formation and whatever kind of play we want to play, and we are playing at the moment, is so predictable. Clubs will find us out. It's all about rolling the ball around. And that's why when you have Xhaka and Mohamed Elneny in playing together, you have very, very few goals scored. Because they literally have that blunt passing. Very, very easy to read and very, very comfortable for the opponent. Right? So you need players who can carry the ball, take it to the opponent's half, win fouls, win penalties, cause all sorts of problems, in the penalty area. Serge Gnabry would also give Arsenal that. I don't know if you agree or you disagree. Okay, Max says, is Gabriel deal getting any closer? I do not have any information that the Gabriel deal is getting any closer, but what I can say is that according to The Athletic, Arsenal did make him his their first priority as a signing. And actually, according to David Onstein, it looks like Arsenal's two striker targets this summer are going to be Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah. So That is what I can tell you. Come on, Partey is world class. I think the inconsistencies of Thomas Partey do not make him world class. If he can be consistent, right? Look, world class is not all about looking like. It's all about what you offer and what the team gets out of you, and how consistent on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. How consistent do you do that? You don't just get to be called world class, right? Because because you've had some 10 games good, some 30 games good. No, you need to be consistent, right? You like Zaha is not world class, but I think Zaha is a little bit more consistent than Thomas Partey. So Partey has the potential. I mean, just one season or two, and then we can call him world class. But he needs to be there. He needs to be there. Thomas Partey, world class. Just our club lacks players, to partner with him. I think even with the players we have, Partey has proven himself to be a very, very different, caliber of player. He's proven to be a very, very good player. But is he that consistent enough? For me, he's not. He needs to be consistent enough. Cossy, let Arteta bring in Jesus, Richarlison, Gnabry, and Yuri Tillemans. There are Arsenal team next season. Will be back for the top four for sure. Okay, I mean, great shouts first and foremost. Gabriel Jesus, I think that deal will get over the line. I mean, I've told you before that deal will get over the line. Richarlison is. I don't see that one. I don't see that one get over the line. Gnabry, I don't see that one get over the line. Yuri Tillemans, according to Romano, Arsenal are still tracking Yuri Tillemans, despite the fact that we do not have UEFA Champions League football. However, for me, in my opinion, it looks like the camp of Yuri Tillemans is thinking, can we have other offers first, evaluate them before we think about Arsenal? I think that is the point. That is the whole point. It's the waiting game. Yeah, it's the waiting game. And I think it's the same with Gabriel Jesus. If better clubs come in, better than Arsenal, you might find Arsenal's next striker to be Nketiah at 100k per week. Why am I not surprised that Arsenal want to give Nketiah 100k per week? Why am I not surprised? So, okay, Richarlison is the man, says Gay Wales. Richarlison is a good player for me, but I don't see that. I don't see that deal really happen. As Arsenal, we really need to put too much strength in the midfield and defense, and someone who can strike well. I mean, look, I've already said Darwin Núñez would be the man, and a couple of other clubs are also looking at him. But for me, Darwin Núñez would be the man. If Arsenal can just get Darwin Núñez and get that deal over the line, phenomenal player. Please, I need player done deal, not this analysis. All I need, please, they should get deals done. Now, the reason as to why I want to do very, very slow content in the market as compared to the other markets is I just need peace on my channel. I just need a lot of peace. So, look, there are a couple of YouTube channels that I would suggest if you need a done deal every day. If you need a done deal every day, which channel should I suggest? I think probably, I don't know. But I'm not the guy who's going to give you a done deal every day. I'm not the guy who's going to give you a done deal every day. So if you want a done deal every day, you are in a very, very wrong place. Absolutely wrong place. Did that a couple of years ago when we were running up and down with every rumor. The community has grown, so I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to jump on any rumor, and I would prefer the calm analysis. What about Zinchenko? Look, I've seen the Zinchenko story, and I think I'll do one like this around Zinchenko. But Zinchenko is another interesting one. 25 years of age, played with worked with Mikel Arteta under Pep, and one that I feel if you lose Kieran Tierney to a long-term injury, and Zinchenko is there, you might actually you might not have lots of things to worry about, because Zinchenko is solid, especially when it comes, and he offers a lot in the final third. That is why, because we play an elbow system. I've explained the elbow system, because we play an elbow system where our right back literally has to play deep and play as part of a back three. Our left back moves a lot. Our left back is predominantly plays as part of the midfield and the attack. So Zinchenko would be very, very fit, right? Because our elbow is kind of very, very sharp. Coleb says, and Gnabry should be a good signing because we lack a good attacker. Okay, Dale says, but I think Gnabry will be a better player for us. Will says, with Jesus and Nketiah, we would fall short. We need a powerful target man. I think, look, I don't want to say that I don't understand what Arsenal are trying to do here. I perfectly understand very well. I do understand what Arsenal and Mikel are trying to do here with Nketiah. The moment Nketiah, because Nketiah has made it very clear that he wants game time, right? So the moment you sign him on a long-term contract, then you've got to give him the game time you're promising. And for me, that is it. That's it. So if Nketiah stays, then it's all about getting in another striker. And if it is Nketiah, lads, if it's Nketiah, then the striker should not be Gabriel Jesus. If it is Nketiah, then you go for someone who's like Darwin Núñez, honestly. Okay. Cossy, what about Frankie de Jong? Frankie de Jong is linked to Man United very, very strongly. The words of the player in the last 24 hours have just shown that the best place he wants to be is FC Barcelona. He's not thinking about a move away. He's not thinking about it. And because he's in his words, he says, I love Barcelona, my dream team, and I really don't want to talk about other clubs, and I hope I can stay at Barca. The situation with Frankie is that he will be sold to a club that has money. I would really take him to Arsenal. I would really love him at Arsenal, but I don't see how we get that deal, because it's going to be over 70, 80, 90 million euros. That is going to be the price. I don't see how Arsenal get that one done. Yeah, I don't see how. I think this summer is going to be Arsenal moving around players like Tielemans, 25 million, Gabriel Jesus, 40 million, Aaron Hickey, 20 million. I think that is where we're going to be moving, because at the end of the day, if you sign 5 players worth 20 million, that is 100 million, right? So I think in the end, we might spend close to 150 or more than 150, but we might not have that 70 million signing like I would have wanted, because we know what 70 million in the market can bring you. Okay. Arsenal needs a creative midfielder. Odegaard lacks the final. No. We are actually not doing this, Shafiq. We are not actually doing this. The reason as to why Martin Odegaard has not performed in the final part of the season is the lack of a player like Thomas Partey. I've told you the reason here is Partey provides a lot of provides a lot of cover and covers a lot of ground for Martin Odegaard. So that leaves Odegaard with one part and one role, and that is making that final pass. And to be sincere, you're not making a final pass to Nketiah and Alexander Lacazette. Lacazette's XG, the number of goals he should have scored this season, is way high than the number of goals he has scored. Per 90 per game, the chances created, Lacazette should be scoring at least 3 to 4 goals. And in the whole campaign, he scored 4 goals. So if you're talking to me about Odegaard and not being good enough, we are not having this debate again. If you want Maddison to come in, I'm 100% okay with that. But not because Martin Odegaard ain't good enough. Hit the like button for me, people. Let's get those likes up through the roofs. Thanks, everybody. Hit the like button for me. Massively appreciate, by the way. I massively appreciate. I don't even want to hear anything about Eddie contract. Why did Arsenal give him another contract? So upset. That's according to Arno. Look, on top of giving him that contract, look, I could be wrong, but for me, it's a ridiculous one. You know, are we trying to desperately cling on to Eddie Nketiah? I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced, Arno. Actually, what cost us last season was number 3 and 2 plus the midfield. That's when Tierney isn't there and Tomiyasu, we concede many goals, and we can't rely on Xhaka because he is unpredictable. Actually, he's nominated for Player of the Season. We'll come back. Thank you so much, Akol. I'm very pleased to have you guys, congratulating me to be back. Listen, lads. When we talk about Arsenal moving forward, look, even Liverpool has Divock Origi. Liverpool has Takumi Minamino. But Eddie Nketiah signing a 100k million, 100k, a 100,000, per week contract at Arsenal means he's going to be key. He's going to be at the center of our, of our planning. That is just ridiculous. I'm sorry, that is just ridiculous. I do not know what Mikel has seen in him, and Mikel spends more time with the players in training. So you never know. But look, we are going back to Europe, and we want to win. So if Eddie cannot get us over the line, who is to blame? We are replacing Lacazette and Aubameyang with Eddie Nketiah and someone else. I'm not convinced. I'm sorry. I'm personally not convinced. With also Mohamed Elneny signing, Elneny is a good player. Like, he's not a good player. He's a good man. So they have kept him for work ethic. They have kept him for discipline, leadership. Screw that. Be ruthless. Go out there and have the best of the best. Get Bissouma, get Chilemans, get those guys in. Try to sell the vision. But for me, when I see Nketiah on a 100k per week contract, and I also see Elneny staying, then the vision, the candle that has been burning so brightly, it dims a little bit. Unless Mikel is going to prove to us otherwise, but it dims a little bit. The summer will end and Arsenal and see Arsenal depending on Eddie Nketiah only as a striker. I hope that doesn't happen, Derek. I hope it doesn't happen. I beg. Odegaard is very good player, but Arsenal needs someone that will support in the midfield. Just get someone who can give you what Partey gives you, and then you'll see the best of Martin Odegaard. Just get someone who can receive the ball in deeper areas, not pass it back like Xhaka and Elneny, but has the ability to hold that ball and turn and then pass it forward or move it forward. Then you're going to see the best of Martin Odegaard. Osita says even Eddie Nketiah stays, even if Eddie Nketiah stays, Jesus must be at Arsenal too. Look, my argument here is Eddie must stay, and we must also bring in 2 strikers. I'm okay with that. But if Eddie stays, and then we bring in 1 striker, not good enough. Not good enough. Akol says update on Tielemans, Victor Osimhen, and Gabriel Jesus. Tielemans still very difficult, according to Romano. Victor Osimhen, the last time Arsenal did try to bid, the bid was turned down. Gabriel Jesus, we are still waiting. I believe next season Nketiah will give us more goals. He might give us more goals, but how many? 10? 11? That is the question. Yes, he might give us more goals, but how many? Exactly how many? Okay, if Eddie Nketiah stays, Jesus must come too. The problem with Arsenal is that they don't act. They always talk about good players, and some other teams which are serious come and buy them. Why are they not very serious? Okay, interesting. Honestly, I'm worried about the type of players Arteta has interest in. They are not good enough to push us up the table. Sad times. Even Casemiro is a better player. If you are you talking about the Casemiro at Madrid? I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player, unless you have someone else. But if you're talking about Casemiro at Madrid, he's a great player. Now you're talking, bro. Me, I never trust El Neni and Xhaka in our midfield. They don't. For me, El Neni and Xhaka, they don't give you anything. And Mikel, look, if Mikel has not learned that this season, he will never learn. That midfield needs an absolute revamp. We need to be skeptical about Partey's fitness. That is one. But then the other thing you think about, you'll have to think about is even if Partey is available, the players that play alongside him have got to be very, very good, right? Because the system we play is a single pivot. It allows us the luxury to have 2 creative midfielders sitting in front of a single pivot. And Partey can be very, very good in a single pivot. And also remember that if Partey is away, if you bring in a player like Bissouma can also play and give you that, that single pivot. So bring in Bissouma, bring in Tielemans, get the midfield done, move up top. If you want Victor Osimhen, bring in Victor Osimhen, bring in Gabriel Jesus. That is done, and get the back line. You could bring in Aaron Hike. You can bring in anyone you want. For me, 5 signings for Arsenal this summer are enough. 5 signings. Yeah, 5 signings are enough. Provided we can convince William Saliba as well to stay. 5 signings would be enough. Welcome back, Cossy. Thank you so much, Robert. I'm happy. I wish we have a Camavinga in our team, and not El Neni or Xhaka. I talked about this last summer when I was talking about Eduardo Camavinga, and my argument was that if you have a player like Eduardo Camavinga, however young he is, he moves into the team straight away. And many people told me, "Oh, Cossy, where will he play? Where will he play?" The point is not where he will play. The point is, can he deliver when you need him? Even at Madrid, he's not starting regularly, but can he deliver when you need him? And Eduardo Camavinga has been delivering whenever he's called up, especially in a rough Champions League campaign where Madrid have had to win to beat Chelsea, PSG, Liverpool, and Manchester City without controlling the affairs in all those games, apart from Liverpool in the second half. So, when you play the best quality in the world and these clubs are dominating you, you need a holding midfielder that can hold and hold strong, but then you also need him to carry that ball and very, very intelligently so that he carries it smartly and quickly. I honestly do not think El Neni has that. Kalim says, is it true that Arsenal is back for Housem or what? Not seen it anywhere. I've seen some rumors around. Like I said, we will talk about the rumors, but this season, let's talk about the rumors like in a way of a reaction rather than done deals. I'm just tired of that, right? I'm just tired of that. Like, transfers could cost me my mental health, and I don't want that. So it's either we amicably talk about these things, or we wait for the season. Giwil says we need beasts like Dokore, Bissouma, Kamara in the midfield. We were bullied at Spurs and Newcastle. I support you, Giwils. Giwils, you have a supporter here in Mark. And, the reason as to why we looked very well against City and Liverpool, it was one reason. It was Thomas Partey. Because Partey has the ability to boss Rodri, and Partey has the ability to boss Fabinho. And that's why, many midfielders would struggle against Thomas Partey because he's got this, he's highly built, he's a very, very strong player and highly intelligent. Also kind of, not very, very fast, but, I think his speed is fine. If you do not have such a player in your midfield, I mean, he doesn't need to have, to be very, very strong. You could have a Sergi Busquets who is very, 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 very smart, and then it works out. But you need to have that guy who is there. Rodri, Fabinho, Rodrigo Bentancur, Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg, anyone. You don't have anyone. That Camavinga needs playing time. We need to bid for him. I don't think Madrid are giving you Camavinga, especially at the moment when they are trying to bring in Aurelien Tchouameni. You see what's gonna happen. Camavinga is not far away from establishing himself as a very important player in the Madrid midfield. So Camavinga, Tchouameni, at some point in time, I think that would be the Madrid midfield and someone intelligent. Okoye, how are you? Hope you're doing well, Okoye. Greetings to you. Newcastle game made me shed tears. Marco Stein. I was absolutely devastated. I was frustrated because look, that was honestly. Let's see. That was absurd. That was absurd. That was a preposterous performance. I cannot forget that. That was absolutely preposterous. That was bad. That was abysmal. That was ugly. I can't forget that. Our midfield needs upgrade, says Anu. Why is Arsenal depending on Partey only and to surround him with craps like Xhaka and company? I'm confused. And actually, I think Xhaka will stay at Arsenal, and Elneny is also staying. So the midfield might not change that much. I'm sorry to say, but we might not see a midfield upgrade like we want to see. I don't see it happen. I don't see that happen. What's the goalkeeper situation? The goalkeeper situation, Leno will be leaving this summer, and Matt Turner will be coming in as the backup goalkeeper to Aaron Ramsdale. Nothing is changing there. Biden. And Kalim says, Cossy, we need another physical midfielder with a quality and intelligence like Paul Pogba. When I was thinking, I did a video on this channel. That was it last month, I think, or last month before last month. And I was suggesting one player Arsenal need to sign from every Premier League club. And I said from Man United, you go for Paul Pogba. And everyone said, Cossy, you cannot go for Paul Pogba. When, look, apart from the financial part of that deal, Pogba is absolutely world class. World class. Maybe also the consistency with the injuries. You might chase him for that. We already have all what we need. We just need a proven striker and a left back and also a midfielder and also a midfielder like Bissouma and a left winger. You cannot say we already have what we need beneath, and then you suggest all those options. A midfielder, a left winger, a proven striker, a left back. There's so many positions. So it shows that we do not have what we need. We do not have what we need. Gil says, Will says, Newcastle game still, still gives me headache. Those two games cost us the top 4. Honestly, you cannot disagree. You really cannot disagree, lads. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Impressive. I mean, I'm happy that I'm back. I'm going to be shooting and uploading my first video as well on 99 Sport. Make sure you hit the like button here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because lots of content to come your way. Lots of content to come your way. Right? So make sure you do not. Make sure you do not fail to join me always when I come live. Be doing a couple of uploads, so stick around always. Anywhere you go, you belong.